All right, let's try this again here. Waiting for YouTube to catch up so I can verify we have good audio presence. And we do. And I'm on the right Google Chrome screen this time. Not the one I'm monitoring the stream on, which is when I turn this way, that's what I'm looking at. All right, let's answer some questions. I forgot to say live from Cabot, Arkansas. This is Saturday afternoon, answering your financial questions live, number 84. And you see this is my YouTube page. If you want more financial stuff, you just scroll down past the recent videos, past Oak Island, past live streams. And there we have this show, Answering Your Financial Questions with Ramsey Solutions Certified Coach Steve Money. That's me. And the music playlist has about 8 or 9 Ramsey adjacent songs, so give those a listen if you're so inclined. And of course, the Ramsey Show After Show, there are 369 of those. The 370th one will be on Tuesday, this Tuesday, April 30th. All right, let's get going with some questions. Should I spend emergency fund? This looks like it'll be a long one. All right, no, not that long, but still couldn't see it all. Should I spend emergency fund? Recently, I had to be hospitalized. I handle the finances. My husband and I have weekly meetings to keep us on the same page. He is the free spirit spender. My dilemma is our insurance plan through his work is awful. While in the hospital, our total out-of-pocket was due. I was in no condition to handle this. My husband felt pressured. It's $8K. We have $10K in emergency funds. It's taken us a long time to build up. We still have that emergency fund, but in a panic, my husband paid the hospital in full, $8K on a 30% credit card. Oh my goodness. I about fell out. You weren't in condition to handle it, but you could have, maybe he could have discussed it with you, and you could have said, no, don't do that, use the emergency fund, because that's what it's there for. The credit card doesn't allow balance transfers, which are bad anyway, correct. I don't want a personal loan to repay this, but also hate to use 80% emergency fund and be left with only $2K with a baby due in 6 weeks. Please give advice. This is stressful. Well, you're doing it wrong. You may be doing the baby steps in the correct order, the correct way, but as soon as there is a pregnancy, you are pausing the baby steps. As wonderful as they are and as great it is to get through them, you are pausing that and you're just paying minimums on all debt and you're just piling up cash. So if you were on the baby step 3 to begin with, you should have just been piling up cash, and with the baby coming, you might want to have more than 10K in there. So, and this hospital visit may or may not have had anything to do with that, but I mean, you're in it now, yeah, I would pay the whole thing off out of your emergency fund, and now at this point you're not doing anything except if you are still in debt, you shouldn't have the emergency fund anyway. You need to take it down to $1,000, and then since now you're in stork mode, which you should have been for 8 months now, and you got 6 weeks to go, you just pile up cash, as much cash as you can. So maybe they were actually doing that and then just had the extra hospital visit as a surprise, and that is an emergency. I would say going to the hospital is an emergency unless it was a cosmetic surgery, which it doesn't feel like for me that was a cosmetic surgery. Let's get the baby steps right there. Okay, Jamie Pusharski. Okay, shall I? That's interesting talking. Shall I buy a car or put money towards mortgage? I did an English accent, I guess, because it's like shall, using shall instead of should. That seems more hoity-toity. We are moving house. That sounds interesting too. Maybe English not first language. I don't know. We are moving house and getting a larger mortgage. Okay, that's not necessarily advised. We have a car which we are 2 years into PCP. I don't know what that means. At my own risk, I'm going to Google it. PCP loan. Am I typing that correct? PCP loan. Calculate. What is a PCP loan? PCP car finance. Personal contract purchase is a form of car finance that allows you to use a car for an agreed term by making monthly payments. And you probably can't get out of that term either. So, and that, my friends, is how they get you. All right. 2 years into, and what's the agreed term? So basically you're just paying rent on a car. Our purchase was rushed. So for our mortgage, we put down a 10% deposit and want to pay off any spare money as an overpayment. Our car is a 22 Reg Corsa with a decent spec. We are both big fans of this car, and our current plan was to refinance the balloon payment over 3 to 4 years, which gives us similar payments to what we currently have. I want to break PCP cycle. Is that? I mean, it might be some country's form of kind of like a leasing, kind of maybe. We have worked out. We will have to. Other countries can't just call it the same thing that we call it. They have to call it their own thing. We have worked out, but it may be different. We've worked out. We will have about 12,000 spare after planned works. Our question is, should we make? I'm going more and more with English, not first language, but that's okay. Their English is better than my whatever their language is. I don't know. I will give figures below as I don't know where to begin with the math. Well, it's not a math problem. It's you wanting to do all of this money stuff all at the same time. And if you're familiar with Mr. Ramsey, he's like no debt, so you would pay for a car in cash immediately, not over payments, in cash immediately, the whole thing. Otherwise, you don't get the car, is how it works. We want what's better in the financial long run. Well, that would be a little thing we call the baby steps, which are right here, and it doesn't say do any of the stuff you're doing. And you're also, if your finances aren't in good shape, you're also not going for a larger, more expensive house either. So let's see. Maybe she can save it. We'll see if she can save it. If there is not much in it, we would prefer to buy out car. As our circumstances change, we could reduce monthly outgoings by not giving monthly overpayment. In mortgage, I think they mean, and just pay the car. Our numbers: new mortgage, $188,000 at 5.29% interest, fixed for 2 years. Maybe another country where they are forced to refinance every few years. Monthly payment should be $1,040. Car balance is $13,000. We have 2 years of PCP left, which leaves us a balloon payment of about $8,000. We would try refinance this. Current interest rate on PCP is 4.9. Our currently monthly payments are $235 a month. If we paid off car, we would make this payment as overpayment, reducing mortgage. Pay the car off right now if you have the money, because you should have no debts before you even save a down payment for a house. And if you already had a mortgage on your other house before you discovered Dave, well, that's fine. But then you start doing Dave's stuff as soon as you discover Dave, and you would not be saving the down payment for the new house until you were out of debt and you had a full emergency fund. So it doesn't say if they have extra. Let's see. Insurance company give value of a car. I'm just seeing if she says what, like any other of the financial information. Do. 18 originally. I'm just trying to get, no, it doesn't say how much they make, and so forth. All right, I've given up. So here's what I'm gonna do. Go back to the other page first, and then I'll gotta be handy with this.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, absolutely doing it wrong. And my chair is doing it wrong too. Okay. There we go. Back to the questions. Nope. We want to be there. Hail damage ride. Possibility owned 56545 asks, hello all. Hi guys. My sedan with 174k miles been hail damaged and totaled just because of the hail damage. I recently got it inspected before a hailstorm and it's good to ride till 250k. It's a Honda. I'm fine with keeping the car, but I'm a single guy, 25 man, and I'm wondering, should I get a different car that doesn't look like a wreck? Inside is dealer condition, but the outside looks like it was shot up. Who cares about that? I'm the wrong one to ask on any of this car stuff because I don't give a crap about what it looks like. If it gets you from point A to B and it's not breaking down on you, then why would you buy a different car? Dumb to do anything because it looks like that. If it's functional, that is the most important part of it. Regardless, some people do not agree with that, I'm sure, but that's the dealio. Acrobatic Energy 497. Are car insurance rates allowed to triple in 1 month? Not that I'm aware of. Companies can raise rates. I don't know if there's any thing that says that they can't do that. Like a law, are car insurance allowed to more than triple your monthly payment within a month? For example, 1 month you're paying $70 a month, then the next you're paying $240 per month without a policy change, claim, accident, change of address, etc. Is the regulatory board they have to submit their justification to? I don't know. I would Google it and find out and see what's up with that. And you can also shop a different car insurance and change to them and tell these turkeys goodbye if you can get a lower rate. But I mean, there could be something else that happened. Age may have something to do with it. Like any other things other than policy change, claim, accident, change of address, etc. It could be one of the other things. It's possible. It's possible. And if you're on a family plan, with others, if one of those guys had a claim, accident, or anything, that could affect yours as well, the whole plan. Had to struggle, 5022, mobile home versus renting. I thought about purchasing a mobile home, and I always hear Dave go against purchasing mobile home. He says that they go down in value, and you'll never recoup your money. How is that any different than renting? It's renting because you don't waste your time buying a mobile home. That's how it's different. I would much rather have a mobile home that is mine on a small little piece of land than rent an apartment and never see that money again. Am I wrong for thinking that? It's your money, your life. You can do whatever you want to, but it's better to rent rather than do that. Northlet 4537. Buy a home or rent and keep saving money. My fiance and I are getting married this week. Congratulations, and are deciding whether to purchase a home. They're 7 days ago. They're already married, probably. Maybe getting married today. It's a Saturday. By the end of the year. That might be a little quick. We earn $205K annually before taxes and adhere to a strict dollar budget as recommended by Dave Ramsey. I've heard of him. I'm 28. She's 32. Maybe he like older women. We want to buy a house to start building a family. Although you don't have to do it like that. You don't have to buy a house to start building a family. You can build family first. Children can live in an apartment for a short time, and then maybe you buy a house. Although we understand it's not a necessity. After searching for the past 3 years, we are quite exhausted. What? From Googling for houses, and that exhausts you. I'm going to go ahead and say that's an overstatement. Overreaction. You just want to buy a house, apparently. But if you were fine with it, you would have done it instead of asking on air. So you shouldn't do it. Most likely. To save money, we're open to renting an apartment, and we currently rent a home. We live in North Houston and are considering building a home because we have specific. Here we go. Preferences. This is the justification station here section. Justification station here. Preferences. The home we want to build would cost $506K to 204. That's about the mortgage that they could have. That's like right within the range. So if that would cost, and you can lower that, you're even better off. So they can afford that with their income. Comes with significant incentives like making us feel like we'd be gaining equity immediately. It doesn't matter what you feel like about equity. It matters what actually happens with the equity. So this feeling like stuff has got to go. The mortgage, including all taxes and insurance, would be about $3,600 a month. The builder is also offering a 1-year rate buy down and $20K towards closing costs. No, don't do that. You just put more down. 1-year rate buy down. Yeah, don't do any of that. Just put more down. Alternately, renting a much cheaper pace would cost around $1,600 a month. That sounds like you can pocket $2,000 doing that way. And for 2 people, you don't need a house with what, 5 bedrooms that you're trying to get? Or even 3 bedrooms. You do not need it at this time. So why do that? Allowing us to save an additional $2,000 monthly. That math checks out because I just did it before I read that. This would mean saving either $5,000 or $7,000 per month after all expenses, depending on whether we buy or rent. Yeah, and then you could put a great down payment on when it would be a better time for you to move after you have to. We both aim for the financial freedom. Well, getting a house too early is not, when you don't need to do that. I understand wanting to get the equity, but there is a $2,000 difference between your renting price and your mortgage price is significant. However, we haven't accounted for our annual bonuses, which range between $4K and $10K. Yeah, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That is just, it's a bonus. When you get it, you apply it to whatever baby step you're on, or you can allocate it towards anything you put in your budget. Our plan includes having 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved. Now, you need to have 6 months. I don't think this is a Ramsey thing, but if you buy a house, you're going to have other expenses. You have to fix everything in it. You can't call the landlord to fix it. You call your landlord after you buy a house, your phone's going to ring. And you're going to have to tell yourself, oh, my roof's leaking. 6 months worth of expenses saved. So yeah, 6 months emergency fund. Not 3 to 6, but actually the whole 6 saved before you even start doing the down payment even, is what I recommend. And being debt-free before buying a property. Absolutely. Oh, you're not debt-free now? Your plan is... Yeah, so if you're not debt-free now, so let's look at the baby steps here. Baby step 3B, which is not in there, but that's saving for a down payment. And so if you still have debts, then you're doing it wrong. Let's see. We currently have no debt and are almost done with our student loans. Hey, guess what? The student loans, that's debt. That's debt. That happens all the time. Rachel Cruz has said, people have told her, oh, we don't have any debt. We have student loans, but we don't have any debt. Like they're exempt or something. We're also paying for our wedding in cash. Quit. I hate it. I hate it. People, quit trying to do everything all at the same time. You're trying to do like stuff your parents did over 20, 30 years. You're trying to do it all right now. Stop it. Stop it. Ridiculous. While our instinct is to continue saving, and that's a great instinct, we are concerned about potential price increases in the housing market over the next 2 to 3 years if we wait, and that is going to happen. But you're not supposed to, again, buy a house while you still have those student loans and you don't have a 6 months emergency fund. You're doing it wrong. What would you do? Please provide reasons for your advice. I did. Because you're doing it wrong. No, it's just not smart. Baby steps are the baby steps, and save for house is baby step 3B. You're just getting married. You don't need to do house all at the same time. And we're still trying to pay off debt, etc., 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 etc. Everybody wants to do everything all at the same time. Chill out. Chill out, people. Chill. Relax. Relax. Don't do it when you want to buy a house too early. Can 3D platypus. Help. I need somebody help. Beatles. My wife's uncle passed about a month ago. Condolences. We live in San Diego and the funeral service will be held in San Francisco. My wife is planning on booking our flights and hotel for us and our kids, 4 years old and 6 months old. Here's my concern. We currently have less than 2 months worth of emergency funds. We also have around $3,500 worth of repairs needed between our 2 cars. This would drop us into the 1 month range for our emergency fund. Unfortunately, a funeral service, I don't consider that an emergency. It's important to my wife and me that our kids get to go and see some for the first time, the family who live there. I would go see the family who live there after you have full emergency fund instead. And so the wife can certainly go, have the wife go by herself. But when you're trying to take a whole tribe over to somewhere, which San Diego to San Francisco, it's in the same state, but, you know, that's Cali, and Cali costs. So that's going to be a no. Davis had calls like this, and the spouse that is actually related is the one that goes. The other one stays home with the 4. It's not 4 kids. I thought it was 4 kids. It's 2 kids, 4 and 6 months old. But yeah, that's just that is not advised, and that is not an emergency. What should I understand? She wants it. I understand she wants them to see the family. She can see the they can see the family. The kids can see the family after you have sorted out your financial stuff, instead of doing something by spending the emergency fund for something that's not an emergency, and that's going to make your financial life not as good. What should I do with my property? Currently own a condo that is paid off. Congratulations. Purchased for $127,000, down 0.00. Put the whole thing there. In 2013, now it's worth just a little more than $300,000. Okay, excellent. More than doubling it. More than doubling it. Its rental value. What up, Troy Story? Missed that guy. Its rental value is about $2,200 to $2,400 a month. Don't be a landlord unless you have dreamed about being a landlord. You don't be a landlord by default just because you have an extra property or just because you're moving. And chair again. Gotta get a new chair or try to fix this one. The HOA is $308 a month. HOA will take a bite, but it's probably going up again before the year ends. Yeah. I'm sort of new to the investing scene, so I was wondering what advice you have for me. I would love to own more properties and rent them out. But should I sell my place or continue to rent it out? All right, what he didn't say is if he's living there, where is he going to go live? And then you got the rent or mortgage payment for that on top of it, and so that's not how it works. You buy investment properties all in cash, and so but you have, before you do that, you have your house if you're going to own and not just rent, which if you're a landlord, you understand the beauty of owning it, and so own your own house first and then save money to buy investment property entirely in cash. No mortgages on investment property, per Mr. Ramsey. How do UHNI handle their money? What does that mean? Apart from inheritance, how do they get there? Can anyone be a UHNI? Something else I have to look up. UHNI. Ultra high net worth individuals, people with a net worth of at least 30 million. And you are asking this question on the Reddit. How do they get there? Can anybody be? Yeah, if you make that amount of money, that's all you got to do. Sad administration 534. Yeah, it's easy. Just make 30 million or over according to the definition. So, but the answer is going to be different ways there, and there's not a way for somebody to type in how they did it and for you to be able to do it that exact same way guaranteed. So that's kind of a ridiculous question. Public Magician 9352, how to split bills. 70K wedding, question mark. The answer would be no on that. Hi guys. 34 man, married to my wife, 33 female, 2 kids together, age 5 and 6, and she's currently 8 months pregnant. We're expecting in May. My income has dropped significantly since 2022. I make $6K monthly after taxes. I pay a rent, $150 monthly for gas, my phone bill $120, $750 on fun money. That's a lot of fun money, dog. Do you guys have debt? And I put everything else in my brokerage account and savings. My wife has been in school during the pandemic and didn't work, but got her master's now. Make $4,500 after taxes. What is for the wedding? What is the wedding all about? Her expenses. Well, when we're married, it's our expenses. But let's see. She pays thumbs up. They have it split up somehow. I have 0 debt. Well, she has student loans of $42K. Well, you're not buying anything. You're not doing a $70K wedding then if you have student loans. No. People are nutty. 7K in credit card debt, 4K, and of the 7K is in collections even. I'm not sure what else she spends her money on, but she likes planning parties, trips, stuff like that. Well, good luck, my friend. Did you guys talk about money before you got married or had kids? Did you perhaps talk about money and how you were going to handle it together? Maybe not. Maybe you didn't have any of that discussion because you have things separated between the two of you now. Her this, she does this, I do this. So I told, let's say our family's growing and we need a bigger car to fit 3 kids. 3 kids can fit in a compact car. And I told her I don't want to take that responsibility of paying for the new car and ask her to pay for it monthly. But she says she don't have the money. She doesn't. She don't have the money. She right. And she will need 8 months to save for it. Yep. You do not need, first of all, you don't need a bigger car. And secondly, just no. So I told her I think it's ridiculous that she wants me to foot the bill for the new car. Well, you're the one that has the money. And you didn't have any kind of conversations that went like this. You, in the last 6 years, you have an age 5 and age 6 kid together, and you had no conversations. You had no idea that this kind of thing was coming up, that this kind of problem was going to happen. Let's see, put the bill for the new car, which would be like $800, $900 for the car and insurance combined. Yeah, we're not doing payments. You don't do payments for cars. You're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Expect to get Dave Ramsey advice. My city is huge on odometer fraud, so we'd rather get a new car. Tough crap. I told her I don't have space in my budget for a wedding, a new car. So you're not married yet. Who's the wedding for? If you're already married, then who's the $70K wedding for? A new car, a new apartment, which is more than $3K monthly. I'm not happy with me spending so much cash monthly for the household while she barely has any bills and is claiming broke. Well, she is. I want to ask my wife to help out on the rent, but not sure how much she should contribute considering she does 95% of the housework. Well, what you have to do here, I'll also do my share. If she's doing 95% of the housework, then you're not doing your share. Please advise, guys. Oh, and it's a locked post. Must have gotten 86 comments. Got contentious, I guess, in there. People arguing and stuff. But yeah, it's just, I mean, this is, the problem is, this might be like something that happens a lot. Okay, so either the guy has been frugal and basically doing the Ramsey stuff, if not fully, his whole life. Or he got exposed to Dave Ramsey, or just had the realization of the right way to do things financially after they met each other. And that is not her fault. And so you can't expect her to just fall in line and do everything you said. We get these questions on here every so often about that she's doing it wrong. I don't want to do it that way that she wants it to do. 6 years, babe. You've been having at least one kid together for 6 years now, and you had no idea this was going to happen. And you're having another baby as well. And you had no idea that this was the case. You already knew it. You already knew she had student loans. And about the collections, I don't know when you found out about that. But this is major communication breakdown. And so that's what you got to do. Communicate, compromise. And if you can't do that, then that's when you go into counseling so that the counselor can help you do both of those things. So I do not understand, again, if you're already married, what the wedding is for. If it's for somebody else's wedding, no. If it's for a big wedding for you guys like got married cheaper earlier and now you think it's all of a sudden time for a big blowout wedding, is not the time while you still have student loans. So doing it wrong too. Him too. Even though he's the frugal one, even though he seems to be the more responsible one. And you're not supposed to, again, depending on if they're not married yet. He said they were married. So if they're not married yet, you should not be combining finances. Shouldn't be having kids together either. Because that leads to this kind of stuff when people don't agree on finances. And especially, I mean, I understand she should also have been expecting it if she knew how you do. But a lot of times, the people, the spenders, they don't they don't like even see what other people are doing responsibly with their money, because money doesn't work like that for them. So they don't even like see it. So could be she missed it, but yeah. So if you were together first and then you suddenly realized after you guys were together that, oh, we're doing it wrong, and you started doing it right, you can't do it right by yourself in a marriage. So you both doing it wrong. And you don't need a freaking new car for 3 kids. They can fit in a compact car. Accountability. Everybody always wants to get the minivan. Everybody. Always. Always. Some people want to get it when they have 1 kid. Crazy people. My wife and I, accountability suggestions. My wife and I used a Dave Ramsey coach a few years back. #coaching, and I found one of the most useful aspects of this to be the accountability piece. Fast forward, we're still trying to tackle some debt, and our circumstances have changed in the past couple of years with several different moves and job changes. I feel like, for me, we could benefit from some sort of check-in system again to keep us on the straight and narrow. Any suggestions on what has worked for you? This is really a behavioral thing, which certainly jives with Dave's approach to money. That's right. 80% behavior, 20% head knowledge. Open to any suggestions you may have. You may need to talk to a coach again if you can't be each other's accountability partner, such as is. If you have any friends that are following the Ramsey advice, perhaps them, but otherwise you can go see another coach again. And if it helps you do anything better, well worth the money. Absolutely. Altruistic Bad 2184. Budget and bank account question. I'm on baby steps 4, 5, and 6, and the chair fell down. 4, 5, and 6, and with not much left on my mortgage. We're following the baby steps. Exactly. Okay. We'll be the judge of that, won't we? And I'm curious what my checking bank account balance should look like. I am itching to pay off this mortgage, and I know I should be able to do it within the next year or so. Okay, great. What's the problem? With my Every Dollar Budget app, I have several sinking funds. Should my checking account balance reflect almost only these sinking funds at the end of the month? Meaning, should any excess money in my checking account currently be thrown at the mortgage? Yes, but you have to make sure you have enough cushion in there to pay for everything until the next paycheck comes. So that's the problem in budgeting. You can't, like every paycheck, you can't budget that thing down to 0 so you have 0 in your checking account. A lot of people think that's what a zero-based budget is. It's not. It's that every dollar has a name, and by the time you write all the names in the categories or the line items, that amount is 0 at the end. But one of those line items could be money to get me to the next paycheck for bills that would be due during that time. And so even though they may not be due until right up at the time where you would be getting the next check, if they are due before you get the next check, you do have to have money to pay those as well. And any regular expenses, groceries, gas, any other type of recurring expenses that may be due before the next paycheck is done, and then has to cover that as well. So yeah, so you can't do every single check and okay, this is what's due right this second, and then put everything else to the mortgage. You can't do that if you have other things that will be due before that next check is in, definitely. And you don't play the game where it's your check is on Friday and the bill is due on Friday. Do not play that game. Have enough to pay for that bill already, because sometimes direct deposits are late. It does happen sometimes, and so do not do that. So don't play that game where it's that close of where you get paid on Friday and the bill is due on Friday. I see it all the time, and it often does not work out. Ramsey, Mama Bear, online will, best deal. Mama Bear is a company that Dave recommends for simple wills, and that's just if you just say, I want this to go to this person and this to go to this person, and basically like that, or like a 50% split between two kids, that kind of thing. So yeah, simple wills. And they're not that expensive, I believe. We have a baby coming soon and decided we should make a will. Both our families are very loving and drama free, but we know having it in legal writing, who would take our kids and get our assets is best. Absolutely. I don't know if Mama Bear can do all of that with the having custody of the kids. I don't know if that would be included in something Mama Bear can do. Mama Bear is for simple wills, and so you can check it, absolutely, but I don't know if it will do that. We are planning on using the Ramsey Mama Bear online, and we'll create it for a husband and I. Found a coupon for 20% off. Does it ever get better than 20%? I don't know. Should we hold out until Black Friday? Does it ever go down more than 20%? Well, that's great unless you die before Black Friday. That's a lot of months there. That's November, babe. That's a lot of months to go. And so if you already have kid, and then take our kid, and then so do you have kids at all? I would think the way it's phrased, it's kid, and then in parentheses it has the S on it. So maybe they have one now and they may have more or would like to have more. But yeah, so if you you can't say, well, I'm not planning to die until Black Friday. You don't know when that's going to happen, unfortunately. Also, if anyone has any experience with Ramsey's will service, good or bad, please share. It's not Dave's. It's Mama Bear is a different company. He just recommends them. May have an endorsement deal with them, that kind of thing. I'm moving out. That's a Billy Joel song. Google it later, kids, or YouTube it. Arnold A. or Spotify. What's it? You kids do it? Maybe even check the TikTok for it before it gets shut down. I'm a 23-year-old single guy making $110K a year. I've been able to save up $230K since I started my job right out of high school, and I've been blessed, #blessed, to be able to stay with my parents for as long as I have, but I will be moving out in the next 2 months, okay? Dave is a big fan of adults living on their own. I have been looking at apartments and nothing has been relatively affordable. Well, welcome to life. This is how it goes when you don't live with your parents anymore. What do you mean, I gotta pay for stuff? Yes, you do. Most apartments in my area are $1,200 a month with a 30-month pet fee. And, you have a pet, you gotta pay. That's how it goes. And a bunch of required deposits. I started looking into buying condo for $115K. I would be putting 30K down to drop my 15-year mortgage to approximately $1,000 a month. I would be paying, let's see, debt-free flare. So that is good. No debt. Again, I would not go straight from living with parents to straight home ownership. I would rent at least a year. get used to, you already have no idea, it sounds like, what life is going to cost. And so I would rent first. Let's see, I would be paying less per month to have the condo in my name rather than renting, but I'm curious if this is the right decision to make. Yeah, you gotta consider that. It doesn't seem like you are quite ready to buy a house. Granted, you would like to do that and get the equity. I get that part of it, but I mean, maybe you wouldn't like the area. I would try to get an apartment in the area you want to buy a house in, and then live in that area, and then see if you want to stay in that area or try a different area. I will not be paying in full to keep my money invested in the stock market. That's not what you should do unless it's in a retirement account. If it's not in a retirement account, then you do take it out of the stock market. Paying off the condo, because that would be what my man Dave calls debt leverage. You're levering the debt of the mortgage to invest more. Let's see, paying the condo off in 2 to 3 years. It's just 2 to 3 years. So why not just take the money out of a brokerage account and pay it off and continue to be debt free? You'll have to get rid of the little debt free on your posts if you have debt. Condos definitely count. Mortgages count as do student loans, as we found out in the last that other question. I've had so many mixed emotions on buy a property at this stage. Am I wrong in this thought, I guess, process? I want to clarify my breakdown of assets. Sorry for the confusion. 140K non-retirement assets. You're paying cash for it. So you rent or you pay cash for the entire house. How about that? 45K retirement, that's great. And without a rent payment or mortgage payment, you can invest more at that time. How about that? I don't know if you're familiar with the baby steps, but if you take a look at those, this is all covered in here. It says invest 15% of your gross income. It does not say also, if you want to let the mortgage hang on like it's a pet for a while, you just want to keep it around so you can invest more, do that. Do debt leverage in this situation. No, it does not say any of that there. So no, you don't do that. You're doing it wrong, despite pretty much doing it wrong. But and it's possible it would be fine to move directly from parents' house into your own house, but as far as like living in the area, like I said, unless you're going to live in the exact area you live in now, if you're living in a different part of the city, why would you buy a house in a different part of the city without living there for a year first? Because you might hate it. Am I overextending myself? 25 man looking to close on my first house. Always be closing if you want the knife set. But this means buying, not selling it. On first house next month. Okay, I'm completely debt free. Another youngster here, 25. I make between 150 to 180K per year. Where I live, the housing market is very tough. It's tough all over, dog. Tough all over, and you don't get a pass for living in a high cost of living area. You just have to make high cost of living money in order to stay there. Otherwise, you can't live in that area. It's not sustainable. But was lucky to find a family friend selling their house. I was able to get a deal on it. The purchase was $485K. I have $200K saved up for a down payment, $20K emergency fund. Will be paying closing costs in cash on top of that, which will bring my total loan to $285, and that's certainly an acceptable amount. With a 7% interest rate, my monthly payment will be $2,700. Tax and insurance, I would be looking to pay it off completely in the next 5 years. Great plan. That's exactly what Dave says to do. All of this so far. I have no dependents, though my girlfriend would be living with me, paying some of the utilities. Now he's not doing it. I had to say he's doing everything right. And then, of course, the very next thing, no girlfriends living with. If you want to live together, get married first. Am I overextending myself? Yes, with that girlfriend part. Other than that, you were fine if you were moving there yourself. I could refinance later if and when interests go down. The mortgage will be a 30-year. But like I said, I would be making extra payments to pay it off much sooner. Yeah, none of that's the problem. None of your plan is the problem. The problem is, and not even her paying for some utilities. That's not a problem either. The problem, you having a Y apostrophe S to make utility plural, is more of a problem than the way you're doing the financial stuff. But having your girlfriend move in with you is bad. Not advised. Right, let's see. Paying off a home. Oh, deleted. Comments must have got too hot. Deleted the username. Paying of a home. I'm assuming that means paying off a home. Fraud. To avoid fraud, what is the best way to pay off a home? Cash. Pay off the mortgage, then take out a HELOC. No, you don't do that if you just pay off the mortgage. Or pay down the mortgage to a meaningless amount and recast the payments. You don't do that either. You don't do any of that crap except pay off the house. And why is protecting against fraud such a hot topic? It's not. It's you doing debt leverage, keeping most people, what they do with the money that they would use to pay off the mortgage would be to put it in the stock market, to invest it. And that's debt leverage. That's what's a hot topic, my friend. And so could be a troll, and of course knows darn well why the problem is. So there we go. They didn't lock it down though, but apparently didn't want to take the heat for it. I don't know why. I mean, you can just, if you post something and people start responding to it, you can just not click on that ever again. You can just continue to use the Reddit and not click on that ever again. People are nutty. A loot, or maybe the subreddit could have banned him. Maybe, who knows? A loot. How do we prepare for my wife potential losing her job? My wife is doing her best to deal with strife and turmoil at work that led to her being fearful of losing her job. I care for my wife's mental health, and I'd rather her find work that isn't soul-sucking than to deal with sleepless nights, dreading the return to work in the morning. All right, so the problem with all of these is where they start using the buzzwords soul-sucking and toxic and stuff like that. We don't know if the wife is and yourself are overreacting to the situation. Now, if there's a big problem there, go get a different job. Otherwise, sometimes you got to suck it up. But if it actually is, quote unquote, toxic, and it actually is, quote unquote, soul sucking, then you go get a job somewhere else. I want to know, we prepare for an indefinite, hopefully brief period of living on single. No, it wouldn't be. She stays there while she gets another job. And you don't be so picky about the other job because you want to get out of there. We, 39 men and 47 female, are currently debt-free, including the house and student loans. Great. Our monthly expenses are around $3,735. She brings $93K annually. I bring $131. The full emergency fund in this case, and you making a lot of money, that can help. Baby step 7, that helps as well for you to more easily deal with it. So you'll be fine if she takes a month to get a new job. But I mean, we're not sitting around for 6 months and not having a new job, even if it's not the perfect one. If the perfect one is where she is, it's not the perfect one because of the whatever toxicity is there, if indeed there is one. There is some. Some people do overreact to that. If you're not, I do apologize, but you do have to be aware that it doesn't It doesn't work like that all the time. And people are quick to over exaggerate a situation now. Everything is like, if someone looks at you weird at work, it's not toxic. So, and people do overreact all the time. Car dealer comment. So I dropped my truck at the dealership to be worked on. I was looking at the Ford Raptor, and the salesman was like, want to buy it? It only hurts once a month. I said I only pay cash for vehicles, and since my current vehicle is already having issue, I don't know if I want another Ford. He goes, I'll take your cash too. It only leaves once. Oh, I see. I'll take your cash too. Only lose one. I see what he's saying. He's just trying to sell you a car, dog. He's a salesman. That's what salesmen do. Always be closing if you want the knife set. You can't expect salesmen that work anywhere to not be trying to sell you on something. That's their job. Forsaken Pudding. 822. What do I do? Potentially losing my job. Okay. Oh yeah, I know. I was gonna say it with the other thing, but the other one is just the person wanting to leave, not necessarily her being fired. And so when you go into emergency mode for possibly losing your job, would be if there's a 51% chance of you losing your job. You worried about losing your job doesn't mean you watch the news too much or the TikTok or anything else that is telling you bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news all the time, and you having general worry about something. That does not put you on, on emergency mode for potentially losing your job. It has to be a 51% chance. So be honest with yourself if it's just general worry or if there's actually a reason to think about that. I'm in baby step 2, paying off debt. I make about $70K annually with no health benefits but 2 weeks of vacation and 3% 401k max. To be brief, I was too late for that. I was hired here for various admin tasks, permit scheduling, and some light sales work. I do a few different things. However, recently I've been tasked with some new blue-collar type tasks, construction, hands-on work, and I'm not great at it. I've always had an office or corporate job. Well, today I was sat down, and in a nutshell, I was told to either get better at manual labor or else. I was not hired to switch fields like that. I'm starting looking for another job right now, again. Again, people are nutty that they don't do that. If you don't like it where you are, I mean, I don't know the number of states, but a lot of states are at will employment. That means they can fire you whenever they want for any reason that's not a protected type of reason with the government. And you can also quit whenever you want. So look for another job. If you don't like it if they're not giving you the type of job that you can do best, then that you don't want to do, you get to leave there. And just start looking for another job instead of typing this on Reddit. No Fall 574 Roth IRA advice. Little background: 22 man, new to investing, and have debt, 15K in student loans. Guess what? No investing until you pay off your student loans. See, so you see right here the baby steps. Baby step 1: save $1,000. Start an emergency fund. Step 2 is pay off all your debts and then include student loans, everybody. It's not, I don't have any debt. I do have student loans, but I don't have any debt. No, that doesn't work like that. Student loans are debt. And so, yes, you do have debt. And so that has to be paid off. It doesn't say, well, while you're paying off your debt, also go ahead and save some extra for your full emergency fund and go ahead and invest more. It doesn't say that at all. So you're doing it wrong. And then he's going to say, this is my plan for investing. Oh, I see. I plan on paying it all off by July. Oh, so he's waiting. Okay, he's waiting. Okay. My bad. Jump the gun on that. But a lot of people do exactly that. They invest while they have debt, and that's debt leverage, of course. And so we don't do that. Baby steps 1, 2, and 3 in order, one at a time, meaning you do not pass go. You do not move ahead until you get baby step 1 done. And then you do not move ahead until you get baby step 2 done. and you do not move ahead until you get baby step 3 done. Now 4, 5, and 6 are different. You do them still in order, but you do all of those at the same time until the extra money runs out. So the extra money that you were paying off debt with, the extra money that you were putting into your full emergency fund, of that amount, you would put 15% of your gross income into retirement, and whatever you needed to do to start addressing kid college. If you have kids, if you don't have kids yet, you don't need to start that yet. You can skip that part and pay off the mortgage early. Any extra money goes to pay off the mortgage early. We're all going to make it, okay? Dave Ramsey books that discuss life insurance, translated in Chinese. Well, that's a hot topic. I don't think so. I don't know, but it doesn't really talk about anything about insurance except to say get it and get term life insurance, no whole life insurance. You do not want an investment component in your life insurance because they make more money off of it than you do. If you get term life insurance, which is much cheaper, and you invest the difference yourself, you will make more. And not only will you make more, you will be able to leave that investment to your heirs. Now, in whole life insurance, unless you cash it out right at the right time, if you die while you have that policy, they will pay out the death benefit, but guess what? They keep the insurance component. And that's why it sucks. And that's why Dave says, do not do that. Alrighty, let's see, where are we? Oh, let's see. Denny J, 1992. I own 3 properties. All right. Now, when you say own, have you owned them, or do you have? Yep, 70K of debt, 57K of this is a mortgage. 2 properties combined. You're doing it wrong. So none of this. Sell one usually sell one to pay off the other 2 if you can. No mortgages on rental properties. I also have my own house, but that is what the mortgage is on. Oh, you only have the mortgage on the house. Yeah, there's no cheating the system by paying cash for the rental properties while still having a mortgage. Again, that is debt leverage as well. You pay off your mortgage first. So you sell the one property next year, capital gains taxes, yeah, to clear out the debt. Yes. Yes, you do that. That was easy. So yes, you do that. And some people will say, oh, that's not the right math answer. Maybe not, but that is the right non-debt leverage answer. Because Mr. Ramsey is against debt. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. I am Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel at coachstevmoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Alternatively, you can do like it says on the ticker, Cash App to $CoachSteveMoney. You can do a Walmart gift card to CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, of course, tomorrow we'll be answering, I do that on Saturdays and Sundays, answering your financial questions. And that is Saturday and Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, upcoming, the next Ramsey Show after show will be Tuesday, April 30th. Come and hang out. You can have me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Thank you so much for watching. And make smart financial decisions every day.